Tuesday. Steve Evans in New York City.
In other news tonight, Eurotunnel has lost its legal bid to have the Sangatte refugee camp near Calais shut down. The company claims the camp is a magnet for asylum seekers trying to get into Britain and says it won't be giving up the fight to have it closed. The jury in the Michael Stone trial have seen recorded video evidence from Josie Russell. She survived the attack which killed her mother Lynn and her sister Megan. They were beaten to death as they walked home from school in Kent 5 years ago. An Australian Navy ship carrying more than 500 asylum seekers is making its way to the Pacific island of Nauru despite a court ruling that the refugees must be allowed into Australia. The group, who are mostly from Afghanistan, were turned away last month after being rescued from a sinking ferry in the Indian Ocean. A pensioner who's been questioned over the disappearance of 2 boys in Belfast in the 1970s has been released while there are further investigations. Police are digging in the backyards of 2 houses in a street in West Belfast where one of the 2 boys lived. At the Radio 1 Sports Desk tonight, Matt Williams.
UEFA says tonight's Champions League games will go ahead despite the terrorist attacks in America. Liverpool and Arsenal are involved in the opening group stages. Arsenal travel to Real Mallorca, and Liverpool, back in the top flight of European competition for the first time in 16 years, welcome Portuguese champions Boa Vista to Anfield. Here's boss Gerard Houllier.
Even before the game, there's a kind of a ceremony and protocol that makes it like an opera, really. It'll be something special for the players. Let's make it special for our fans.
The Rangers chairman says his team will definitely not go to Dagestan for their UEFA Cup first-round tie with Makhachkala this Thursday. UEFA had said the game could go ahead, but the Foreign Office is warning the region is unsafe, and a bomb's gone off near the hotel where the team would be staying. David Murray says he won't put his club's officials and players at risk.
I just can't believe that UEFA have taken all the facts. They're actually now ignoring Foreign Office advice, and we as a British club cannot do that.
And there are 15 games in the second round of the Worthington Cup tonight. Highlights include top of the Premiership Bolton at home to Walsall and Fulham away to Rochdale.
Newsbeat.
Now today's main story again. Terrorists have launched a huge attack on several cities in America. Both towers of the World Trade Center in New York City have completely collapsed after they were smashed into by planes. The destruction started at around 2 o'clock British time, which was just before 9 a.m. in New York. A small passenger plane flew directly into the side of one of the towers, and just afterwards a second plane plunged into the other one. Debbie Troy was in one of the buildings that was hit.
In one World Trade Center hit somewhere on the 67th floor. I was on the 56th. Everybody was on top of each other trying to come down, and then somebody finally calmed the crowd down to get them to come down the stairs in an orderly fashion and get them out of the building.
90 minutes later, both of the famous Twin Towers fell, causing even more chaos and scattering debris across New York. Just afterwards, a third plane hit the Pentagon, which is America's military headquarters. This man saw what happened.
We were stuck in traffic, could not move. I could see the big AA, the silver jet itself. I thought it was a 737. I may be mistaken there, but there was no doubt about it. It was American Airlines slammed right into the building, and there was no doubt about it. Whoever was piloting that plane was aiming for the Pentagon.
And a fourth plane has since crashed near the city of Pittsburgh in Pennsylvania. So far, there are no accurate casualty figures, but it's thought many hundreds have died. New York's Mayor Giuliani said he feared a tremendous loss of life. And President Bush has ordered an immediate investigation to track down whomever was behind the attack.
I've ordered that the full resources of the federal government go to help the victims and their families, and to conduct a full-scale investigation to hunt down and to find those folks who committed this act.
Tony Blair interrupted his plans to say the world has come together to defeat terrorism.
This mass terrorism is the new evil in our world today. It is perpetrated by fanatics who are utterly indifferent to the sanctity of human life. And we, the democracies of this world, are going to have to come together to fight it together and eradicate this evil completely from our world.
Practically all flights bound for America have been suspended, and it's closed its borders with Mexico after being what's described as the world's worst terrorist attack, the world's worst terrorist attack, the likes of which, Claire, we've never seen before.
Now, Peter, the mood here is one of complete shock. What are people saying where you are?
complete shock here. People are in disbelief as to what's happened. It's not just a disaster, a tragedy that's affecting New York City and Washington, all across America. Phones are jammed. You can't get onto the internet. People are desperate to find out what's happened to friends and loved ones who might have been involved in this tragedy. Most major events in America today, it seems, are being closed down. Theme parks here in Los Angeles, the events that tourists flock to, they're all being closed for the day. Airports are being closed. Every precaution is being taken because we're still at the height of this crisis.
Yes, I mean, you wouldn't expect something like this to happen in America. What do you think will happen next? What will America do?
America immediately is dealing with the crisis and getting those people, any survivors, and let's hope there are plenty of survivors, out of that building and dealing with the immediate aftermath. This is, as I said, the biggest attack, the worst attack since Pearl Harbor in the Second World War. That was a devastating incident for this country, something to happen. And some people will remember that, others don't remember anything on this sort of scale. It is dealing with the immediacy of this and then to the future, clearly security questions and tracking down those who are responsible.
OK, thanks, Peter. There is a phone line for people concerned about relatives. It's 0207 008 0000. That's 0207 008 0000. We'll keep you updated on Radio 1 throughout the evening. The next bulletin will be in 15 minutes.
Radio 1 Newsbeat.